I'm not feeling too bad, actually. For once.
For once.
For once, I don't feel absolutely knackered. Monday and Tuesday haven't hit me with a hammer repeatedly overhead yet, so not feeling too terrible.
What is it you do for work if someone beats you with a hammer repeatedly as well?
It's great. It's a great question. I'm glad you asked it, but I can't tell you.
All right, let's revisit this topic in the summer. And in the meantime, before every episode, you rate how you feel from 1 to 10, and then we do the average to see that do we have a finite amount of peppiness amongst us. So if one is feeling better, the other two is proportionally feeling better, because
yeah, if the average is always the same, but okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're aiming for.
and then you have to account for summertime and hot weather and so on. But I mean, the average in between the group per episode should stay constant.
And in the freak occasions that we all have lots of energy, does that make a better or worse episode?
We demand a recount.
Yeah.
Is someone going to have to keep like a tally chart?
It sounds like it, so it won't happen.
This sounds like work, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's all the peer reviewing all over again, and it sounds.
That's where we keep it. We leave it up to the CMOs instead to rate every episode.
Yeah.
Who has what energy? Because that's more fair that it comes from the outside. I feel.
And then we
Exactly.
can kind of, since our episode names are very much on topic all of the time, we can very then easily extract what topics they like us to talk about the most.
Yeah.
I'm feeling crap, by the way. I'm sitting here with, I have a beanie on, the headset, and then I have the heating jacket. I got the old lady blanket, both over my knees and over myself. I got a cup of tea, a glass of gin, and a bucket. You can't see the bucket. I'm not going to show you the bucket, but if I have to leave screen, I might not come back. But it's not like I'm not putting in. So it's weird, though. It's the job that's not paid. I put the most effort in. I mean, if this was Monday morning, I would call in sick for the rest of the week just to be safe. But here we are.
Can't help you.
Oh.
Oh, poor thing.
You see that's professionalism in action right there. Clinically dead, but turns up anyway.
Yeah. All dead inside, but turns out on muscle memory alone. Yeah.
So welcome to episode 124 of the Make Crude Mistakes podcast with Phil from Phil Makes Things, KJ from Crude But Efficient, and at least half a Haavard from Behind the Mistakes.
Yeah.
Semi-Haavard?
Half the Howard, double the mistakes? I'm not sure.
Oh boy.
That's what they call me at work. Half Howard, because the amount of effort he puts in. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
So Phil, you made a video.
Finally, yes.
I mean, looking at how long the project took and how long it took from finished project to finished video, I mean that's record time. Nothing at all. It feels like.
Well, here's a top tip secret, everyone. Edit as you go. Oh yeah.
Clever boy. You've been at it this for a while.
Well, I mean, it took a lot of trimming because not everything I filmed made the rough cut.
That's good.
And the rough cut was an hour long. Yeah.
Oof.
So a lot of stuff got lopped off to get down to, I think it's 12 minutes.
That's what the floor of the editing room is for.
Mm-hmm.
Dumping stuff on.
But yes, no, I made a video and people are watching it and people seem to be enjoying it. So
Yeah.
Good times. At last look, which was about 2 hours ago, I looked at YouTube Studio. It had 1,000 views, and I think I've gained something like 48 subscribers. So
Ooh.
Yeah, that's nice for a full feature
that's
video.
all right.
Yeah,
That's
all
it.
right. All right.
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
It was a really nice video. I mean, you had a good mix of, lasers and hand tools and everything in between, it felt like.
Pretty much everything.
So-
I mean, none of the laser cutting stuff was me. I just provided a file.
Yeah,
And,
but still.
Somebody else did all the hard work. Well, a laser cutter did all the hard work, but somebody who knows how to operate a laser cutter did all the hard work.
Someone with a robot slave.
Yeah, I almost choked on my coffee when I watched that segment. What? Phil got a laser too? God damn it.
No, he hasn't got a laser. But he has access to one at work.
A friend with a laser.
Yep.
Friends with tools is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you have access to a laser at work, that is just like you have access to the printer. I mean, you don't say you have access to, like, I have a printer.
Yeah, I've got a printer,
I got a
which
laser.
I can use between 8 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah.
Which is ample time, actually.
That's just because you don't want to stay at work overtime.
Exactly.
I mean, you are a sysadmin type of guy who can come and go as you please.
Mm-hmm.
But you
The
don't
problem
want
is he don't please.
Exactly.
After working hours, it's very little pleasing going on.
He likes his home.
Yeah. There is the office hours and there are the office hours. And nothing happens outside of the office hours if it's work related.
That's a good way to live, I think.
Well, if we drive to my wife's family, we drive past my work. So if I have some printing I need to done in the weekend and we happen to go past it, I might take a handbrake turn in and do some printing. Because then it's also easy to convince the kids, because of course we have a lot of like these coffee vending machines, but they also do hot chocolate. And once the kids realize that, it's no problem convincing them for a pit stop. Like, do we get free cocoa? Yeah. Take as much as you want. Can I bring 2 cups? Yeah. Bring 4. Brilliant.
Bring a bucket.
bring a bucket next time. How are you feeling, sir? Better. Better get a bucket. That's the skit that always plays in my head when I'm sick. So yeah, but the reference doesn't. Well, people don't get that reference anymore, so it feels wasted.
Yeah,
People are awful, aren't they? They don't know a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how about you then, KJ? Filmed anything? Uploaded anything, or are you just sitting watching the snow thaw so you can get your lampposts out?
No, I'm actually doing what I've said I was going to do inside projects. So I finished my first sewing project, which is upgrading my jackets with putting inside pockets in them. Do you call that? Is it inside pockets, inner pockets? What do you?
Inside pockets, yeah.
Inner pockets, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean, because neither my winter jacket or my work jacket has that. So I felt it's appropriate to actually put some there. And I think it will be a video. I think there's a video in there somewhere with all the things I've filmed. So I'm editing it. We're going. So it's normal progress with projects. But I'm very tempted to do a lot of other projects that I have, the coming things. But I'm trying to keep a lid on it and try to actually edit the one I'm working on instead of giving myself too much backlog with video, as I usually do at the beginning of the year. Yeah. One of the coming projects is I'm planning to take part in the Make What You Fear from the Working Heads podcast.
Sorry. Yeah.
But it might be a stretch to make, because they have the criteria of using 3 materials. The 3 materials is rather hard for a project, I realized, when you don't count fasteners and finishes and glue and that sort of thing.
Make what you fear. Spiders, step ladders, something else.
Tax filing. I mean, it's define make and afraid and yeah.
I think the purpose is to make a project of something you haven't done before. But I mean, I am planning to do it, do a knife related project, and knives are the tools I most fear, because that's the only ones who actually bitten me bloody, so to say, in the workshop. So in that sense, it also scans. But we'll see. I think it's the end of March when it has to be done. So we'll see. But other than that, my oldest son watched my latest video. And he said, "Yeah, I watched the latest video. Maybe the next one is better."
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. That's feedback right straight from the heart.
Your number one fan and your greatest critic.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't even bother putting it in as a comment to at least put in some interaction. No, straight to the heart.
Straight to the source.
The silver dagger.
So yeah, that's I think that's all me making last week. Yeah. So what about you, Haavard?
Oh, I have been doing what Phil said. I've been editing as I've been making, because I'm making the car. And then I ended up having to sand. So I weared off a bit and make the downdraft table. And of course, now that I'm making the car, I can implement, I can do what all the other YouTubers do. They're just like, they just clap their hands and something just pops up. So I did that with the downdraft table. And then, of course, I sneakily made a reel out of it, like trying to do the same of having a laser pop up. But yeah, guess they still don't watch my reels, which they obviously don't. But I mean, the reel did pretty good. So now I finished sanding. And yesterday I made a paint booth. And that was... I knocked it out of the park with cardboard. So I have the size that I need, and lighting and the placement of the S hook that you can hang it in. So it works perfectly. So the day I'm going to make a professional one, I know the size I want. And of course, I put the vacuum in, and it actually sucks out all the mist really well, except the aerosols. So it smells, and it seeps into the entire house. So it's the draft thing that you talked about a couple of episodes ago. If there's a gust of wind outside, it pushes the smell up into the house. So, and the problem there is I just put down the first layer of spray filler, and I'm going to do some wet sanding to find all the spots I need to address, and then more filler, wet sanding, and then of course I start with the paint. And wet sand and paint and wet sand, and then I have to mask down the number and the decals, and then of course put down the top color, wet sand, top color, wet sand, remove the decals, and then as many layers of clear coat until you puke, and then you're done. So, and if that means for every one of those rounds I need to pester the house, it's not ideal. So,
and how much are these in the shops?
How much what?
How much are they in the shops just to go and buy one?
That's not a relevant question at all. That's the thing. You can't actually buy these. You can buy another toy car, and it would be a lot cheaper. But it's looking good. But I'm thinking I'm gonna bring it inside tomorrow because I really like wet sanding, because you can do that inside because there is no dust. So you can sit by your kitchen table, watch YouTube videos by the fire. Is really good. And then I'm thinking I can prepare it for spray painting, and I can do that in the morning for 10 minutes before I go to work, because then during the day the smell will die off somewhat, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's the
Probably
plan.
Good idea, but damn, that was a lot of spraying and sanding and spraying, and yeah. You make it sound so fun.
Oh, it is. And then, of course, it's a toy car for my 5-year-old daughter, and the way she treats her. I mean, the oldest one really dinged up the previous car I made, so it's going to be nice for a day until she drives it off the kitchen table and puts the first dent in it. But at least half the side needs to be well enough for a YouTube B-roll shot at the end of the video. So, I mean, I could just do the half side of the car. And
I mean, it could be nice to have the new one compared to her sister's car as well, to see what will it look like in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. And it's nice to have the original one, because I did a lot of rasping and sanding on the car, and then I held it up to the old one, and no, these don't match. So I have to do more of this, more of that. And of course, on the first car, I glued everything together, and the fenders and all, and then you don't really have any surface to the side to make it stable when you're doing the pillar drill to drive the holes for the axles. So this time I actually drilled the holes in each and every layer before I glued them together. That also made it easier, because when you put the axle in, that makes sure that the alignment is good. So you just have to put a lot of glue on and clamp it. And of course, that aluminum bushing that I use for the axle, that is now glued in place, so it's not going anywhere. So that's a better way of doing it. And then I almost cut my fingers off because I drilled out the wheel arch on the fender with a very worn out, it's not a Forstner bit, but it's the hole saw bits that the plumbers use. So it makes the worst edge ever, and it just want to grab everything and throw it in your face. So I could have done that before I glued the fenders on, actually, to make it more safe and efficient. So that's going to be on car number 3. That's never happening. But I like the shape, though. So I did play around with, if I get my garage going, and before I fill it with crap, I could get a lot of sheets of these styrofoam, and I could actually shape it, just blow it up and make bigger templates. And I could make it so that it is large enough to just put the shell on top of a go-kart. But then again, sanding this styrofoam thing, I mean, it's everywhere, and it gets static charge as well, so it sticks to you and it doesn't go anywhere. And if it sticks to something else, it's hard even vacuuming it up, because that static charge is really clinging onto it. So
yeah,
so maybe I could borrow my neighbor's garage.
I know. I follow a Berlin prop shop on Instagram, and she often makes things out of huge, great big wadges of styrofoam. And you see her going at it with like a shore form and whatever, and just the absolute atrocious mess that goes everywhere with that stuff. But sometimes that's what you need to use. Yeah.
I would like to make a big sculpture in styrofoam, but I mean, that part is what I dread. I mean, it's really fun to carve it with a hot knife. What it's called?
Yeah, a hot knife and a rasp. I mean, it's really efficient. And when I went to uni, we made some we did some hand calculations on the buoyancy and efficiency of a ship's hull, and then we made it into sections, and we carved that out of some form of this styrofoam. But it's the really dense kind that it really does. It just makes like fine sawdust. It doesn't get charged. But that costs an arm and a leg. So of course the school could only afford us making one each for that entire year. And I know that the styrofoam you get, which a lot of the prop makers are using, the one you get at the hardware store, the blue one, that does become pricey as well. So if you're going to make a model where you have to stack like 10, 15 of them, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the guy's name.
John.
Maybe.
Bird.
And he does like a load of cosplay costumes. And he uses a lot of those, those sort of interlocking foam floor mats you can buy for your garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. He uses loads of those because he says that stuff's really good and it's really cheap. Well, it was at the time. Probably like everything else, it's probably cost an absolute fortune now.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheaper than buying the real EVA foam because that's really expensive. But if you want a lot of volume, then I think it's a hard way to go to use the floor mats.
But I was really impressed by some guy who makes fish sculptures to put on the wall, but he's using paper mache. And I've seen a lot of the cosplay people do that as well. Just cut out some cardboard to have something to start putting the paper mache on, and then that is dirt cheap and easy to work with. And yeah, once it dries up, it's really hard and durable. And once you put some lacquer on it or something, it's really resistant to moisture as well. So at some point, I would like to make some paper mache project. Helmet or something like that.
Could you use what's it called, glass fiber, fiberglass? That's how you say it. On a paper mache thing to make it more, water resistant.
It depends though, and that's the problem. And I learned that the hard way. I bought an old speedboat that lacked all the internals. So I made those out of styrofoam, and then I was going to cover them with fiberglass, but I got polyester, and that just eats it away. So it's like, and it became the blob from from Ghostbusters. So you need to use epoxy on that. So a lot of these styrofoam, plastic-based things are, depending on what they're made out of, are really like touchy-feely about what kind of resin you put on them. I'm not sure about paper mache though, but I mean it's cheap enough to try. Or you could check YouTube. Somebody has probably done it. I think.
Probably.
Yeah,
Undoubtedly.
yeah.
So Phil, have you done anything else than a video? Or did you feel, yep, I'm accomplished maker, I can take the week off?
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely. No, the next project is in plan, which is, I think, like I said last week, a much more simple box. Just a card box. Well, a box for cards, not a box made of card. A box for playing cards. But, you think of one thing and then you identify something else, and then all of a sudden your list grows exponentially. I've decided absolutely I need a monitor riser for my desk, so that's probably going to be on the list fairly shortly as well.
Is that going to be a box as well?
Well, it's going to be sort of 3 sides of a box.
Ooh.
Well, a plank with legs on.
A table, you mean?
A table, yeah.
A table.
Or a stool, or an occasional table, yes. Because sometimes it's a telephone. Yeah. So that needs to be done, and I need to paint some shelves, and I need to paint my hallway, and there's always Yeah,
But does that spark joy?
It does indeed spark joy. That sort of deep resentment of joy. No, I mean, yeah, busy. Always busy, it seems, with something. But my lens finally arrived.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a never-ending story.
I thought it was going to be a never-ending story as well, because, I mean, I can't remember when we spoke about it, but it was a week late, and then it was 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
And then the company I bought it from said that they were investigating and that they were moving it up to their fraud detection department.
Okay, that does not sound good.
And what do you know? The very next morning, 10 o'clock, ding, your parcel is ready to collect.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So all it took was the delivery company being investigated for mail fraud to pull their finger out. I mean, maybe these two things were unconnected and it was going to be delivered the next morning anyway. I don't know.
Most unlikely, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I have my new lens for my camera. And I'm very happy.
Nice. Does it
Finally.
do what you want it? What it should?
Yes, it does. It collects photons from the outside world and bends them onto my camera sensor.
And in a satisfactory way as well.
In a very satisfactory way indeed, yes.
Yeah.
That's the most important part. I mean, anything can be a lens, but if it does what you want, that's different.
Yeah, a lens cap with a hole drilled in it will do it.
Yes.
But no, it's a lovely bit of kit. And I didn't buy it new. I bought it secondhand from a company that sells secondhand stuff.
Oh, that's where the fraud part came in.
Probably
being used in some dubious sense by some shady individual.
Yeah, or it's stolen. I don't know.
Yeah, most likely.
Could be.
No, so that's all good. I'm just waiting for the weather to cheer up so I can go out and test it properly in the outside world, because you've all got snow and exciting stuff, but for here it's just been raining all week, and it's going to be raining all the rest of this week and all of next week as well.
Yeah,
by the looks of things.
Speaking of snow and excitement, I was going in the parking garage at work today, going home. Really peppy because I'm going home. And then I realized I had a flat tire. God damn it. And I don't have a spare because that car. And that, like, didn't I have a box of this thing you can put in and also a compressor? So I had to empty out everything. And yeah, lo and behold, below everything, there's a 12-volt compressor. So I started up the car, put it in the cigarette lighter plug thingy, and got enough air into the tire that I got myself to the closest petrol station, and then I topped it up there. And when I turned in our driveway, it was almost flat down to the rim again. So I need, of course, I don't want to buy new tires or have this one fixed. So I have my wife's old winter tires, which is good. So I need to bring those to a garage and make them switch that on to my other set of rims. But they don't have open in the evening, so you have to do this in the daytime with a car that can barely hold air. So I have to get my tires into my car, fill up the air with the shop compressor. That's relatively quick, and then I have to drive to the garage, drop the tires off, and then go outside and refill my tire enough to get myself home, which is nice. So what I did today, I delivered my oldest daughter and a friend at the gymnastics practice, and of course I have to sit there for 1.5 hours, make the time pass. So I've now written the most honest sales ad for a car ever. I'm selling it as it's not a EU control. It's a registered MOT car until next year, but I'm selling it as a parts car. I'm selling it for what I owe on it, and that's going to be reduced for every month as I do a down payment. The price is going down. So, of course, if people are have a bit of ice in their veins. So, all right, I'll wait a month because the price will go down, and I hope someone else won't buy it. And if you read the advert, nobody else will buy it because I list everything that has been wrong with it, everything I suspect will be wrong with it. And I list that the only people buying this is a delusioned mechanic with a pain issue, or a billionaire with no sense of money, aesthetics, or practicalities. Hopefully, all three of those. Or a garage that want to lowball me on it because they also want to sell me another car that they can't offload on someone. So, need to tweak it a bit tomorrow, and then I need to give it a bit of a wash, and then take some photos to just show how it looks today, not 2 years ago, and then I'm gonna upload that more for fun, because if anyone reads the ad, they won't buy it. But if someone buys it, then they can't come crying afterwards. But there's something, yes, I said that the only two things working is the heated steering wheel or the light bulbs in the vanity mirrors in the sun visor. Other than that, you can assume that everything is broken or will in the near future. So we'll see. Maybe the ad comes in the local newspaper enough that I at least can flip the bird to the local garage, because they are mentioned in there. The long lead time for parts and the lack of customer relations at the local garage, which also have the import rights for all the parts from Italy. So, yeah. So I had fun for an hour and a half today writing that. Well, the kids were having fun as well. So it's a win-win.
So you really love that car and you love the brand.
Exactly. And the dealer network. So everything, it's a trifecta here. It's a match made in heaven.
Wow.
So are you dreaming of being carless, or do you have your eyes set on something else that isn't a K-truck?
I actually wrote that in the advert, that, I mean, if you have a K-truck and you want to swap, I'm all in. But for any person at his full senses, I can't see that anyone would go into that agreement. But my wife has also been online and looked at possible cars for me, and one of them was a K-truck, but they only have 2 seats. I mean, 3 seats could work because I could pick up both kids, but I can't pick up the kids and the wife. But if I could pick up both the kids, I could deliver them to school. And then if I need more seats, I could go to the train station and leave the car there and take my wife's. I mean, it's a bit cumbersome, but for those few occasions that you need to do it, it's possible. But with 2 seats, it's not. So I'm looking for the cheapest, newest, lowest mileage Japanese car that is possible to buy. With no extra equipment. I don't want any electronics. If it comes with a crank in front of the radiator, I'm happy. If it's a Flintstone car, even better. I'm so tired of that car, or cars in general. And of course, I was on a high this weekend because I did a extra hard reset on my phone, and that fixed the connectivity issues, which means I saved £250 on a new phone. So, of course, I was browsing for tools that cost £250, since I mentally have accepted shelling out that amount of money. So I could just move that onto some tools. Went to work today, and when I got to office, it has disconnected from the net, and it's been trouble all day. So we're back at square one. And my algorithms are shot to pieces because they think I'm now into phones and only phones, so that they're not showing me anything else than Indians doing AI reviews of phones. So it's been a rough day.
Yeah, I've actually bought a new phone, or a used phone, because I don't want to pay what they want for a new phone. Partly because I was kind of tired of my phone, because it's like the budget version, so it's not the screen. I mean, the screen is fine, but touching it, the touch part is you can feel that they skimped out on that part. So I bought the Pro version of that, which is an old phone. It's a Google Pixel 7. And it's partly because my oldest needs a new phone, because his phone, which was my previous old phone, is so old that it doesn't work with 4G. It has 4G, but the phone company doesn't recognize it. So you have to do some fiddling hacker style to actually make it work, which I don't feel like trying. My father-in-law was really like, "Oh, you can do this and this," and I looked it up on the internet, and if you go here and do this, and nope, I'm not going to try that. It's not worth it.
It's like the people who love overclocking their computers and pushing them to the limit until they breaks. No,
Yeah.
I just pay extra for the next model up, and then it will just work.
Yeah, kind of like that. But so now I've sat all evening and just trying to make the new phone work with everything, because I mean, it's easy enough to clone it. You get all the apps, almost all the apps, not the ones that the Google Play thingy does not accept. So you have to go in and download those manually. But if every app is installed, it doesn't mean that it works. So then you have to open every app and actually log in and get everything to work.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I didn't have Google remembering all my passwords, that would have taken a lot longer, I feel.
I did not do that. I watched a YouTube video, and that, like, this is how you hard reset it. You hold these two buttons, and when it boots, you release this one, but you keep holding that one, and then you get into what I just call it the BIOS. Yeah. And it had a lot of issues, and I mean a lot of choices. And then I just press reset. Yeah, why not? And then, of course, I saw the rest of that video, and that guy said, "Before you do this, it's important that." God damn it! You should start the video with that, you motherfucker. All right.
Sorry,
so,
I'm laughing.
luckily, my computer was logged in to everything on, so I could actually go into my Google account and generate the backup codes manually, without it requiring the two-stage authentication, because I've already logged in and done that. So I took a screenshot of those and saved them. And the funny thing is, you do a hard reset, and it's like warning, this will release everything whatsoever. Yeah, perfect. That's what I want. And then it starts up again, and of course the first image that is on the phone, like 2012 background, Sony, and some crappy animations, and then it pops up. To get the full advantage of this phone and unlock all the functions, you need to remember the PIN code that you set. But it's a hard reset that just blanks everything. And then I log on, and you say, but you need to remember your Google passcode to unlock the what? And that means that there is at least no way that I've found that can just wipe it totally factory reset. Nope. Because it still remembers some crap. And that is why I never sell a phone, because you can do whatever. A lot of people sell their phones and they just go on the software, just delete everything, and then they just sell it for £100 to some guy. You can just do whatever, because all your information is stored there as long as you have the proper tools to read it. So,
and that depends on how you do that reset as well, I've learned, because I have had
a hammer is relatively safe.
No, but if you do the reset from inside the phone, then it's then it's more factory clean. But if you do it from the outside, like if you've stolen a phone, then you can't start it without the permission of the owner.
Yeah,
I had a problem. I mean, it's fine, but one phone I bought used had that problem, and the problem was that the guy who actually was the owner disappeared from the person I because I bought it from his wife, I think, and he was not. I mean, I tried to. Can you get him to actually more or less got it between the lines that nope, he's nowhere to be found, and that's in a sad way.
Yeah, he's dead now, and we have sold all his phones and everything to scatter it around, so there's no trace of him.
Might be. So that phone actually will be making an appearance in my next video. Hint, hint. No, phones are fun.
What happens if you pierce I mean, there's a lot of videos, but it never gets tired of watching people pierce a lithium-ion battery with a nail and a hammer. It's
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, put it behind a paywall. People pay for those kinds of things.
Yeah. Sign up for the Patreon for the extra spicy stuff.
Exactly. So that means that I'm looking down the barrel of at some point getting a new car, but now I have to have a new phone. And of course, my wife sent me one of those. I'm not sure if that's a Norwegian name of that brand, but they call them Doro phones, which is for pensioners, the old people phones. Yeah. And at some level, that would be the perfect phone, right? It has the emergency button on the back, so if you fall and break your hip, you can press that, and it dials 5 predefined numbers, which is your closest family, and the first one who picks up, you get a line with, and it can send SMS. But we talked about this. I mean, if that has a 2-factor authentication, so you could access your bank and everything, that would be perfect. So I don't have a distraction. But I realize I have to get something.
Yeah, you don't want to go back to writing work emails on T9. That's no fun. Both my parents have phones like that, and working them, it's not fun.
That being said, though, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it wouldn't be joyful, but it would take me 20 minutes, and I would be back to full T9 ninja mode, and it's the only phone I could actually write a complete text message to someone while driving a car without taking my, like, you get a message and then you hold it up while you're watching the road and you read it, all right, and just reply, and you just hold it in your lap and you just write the complete message, like 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 3, and then send. You can't do that with the touch phone.
Yeah, and the technology is so old that any passing policeman think, what are you fiddling with in your lap?
A museum piece.
So no, I'm not using a phone. Well, I am using a phone, but it's technology that's so old and alien to them.
Wouldn't you like to know, officer? All right, move along.
Personally, when I was younger, getting a new phone was like a big deal and very exciting. And now it's just like, I don't want a new phone because of all this hassle that comes with it.
Yeah, it is hard work.
And especially now, it's all baked into multi-factor authentication with your company and all the other stuff. And then you have to get it released from their MDM so you can add your new phone number in.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's why I don't get a company.
Could we just not?
That's a good thing with my phone, that our company, you can use Microsoft Authenticator. So I have my private phone. I'm paying for it. And that means that they can't do jack shit and saying that you need longer passwords and whatever, but I still can use it to log on to certain things at work. So it's a win-win. But yeah, I was the same back in the days. Getting a new phone, it was like getting box fresh shoes. You could almost smell it. It was clean, and then you set up and like, all right, what's the download the latest ringtones and whatnot. And I mean, my last 3 phones has been on silent since 2011. I've even stopped having vibrate on. So like, if I see you call, I might talk to you. If not, I did not register, and that's an honest case. It's easy to say to something. I see that you have called. It's now too late. Try again next time, and then it doesn't matter if it's a new shiny, and because I'm going to install the 15 same apps to get access to other things, and it's just going to live in my pocket.
Yeah. I still wish you could buy a BlackBerry, like a proper BlackBerry. They were brilliant.
There's a company now who's bringing it back. It's not a blackberry,
Yeah.
but it's something Dumberry or something. But it has the same form factor and T9Q. No, not the T9, the QWERTY, like physical keyboard.
Physical QWERTY keyboard and
Yeah.
a small screen. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
But me being an Apple fanboy won't play nicely with all my other toys.
Exactly.
So I have to stick with the glass rectangle for now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of something that isn't a nightmare, or I mean, it's a nightmare for some, but I've decided to go to Maker Central this year, and once again play with the Make with Maker stand.
Ooh.
So yeah, well, once again, me and Elling is having a sewing course for anyone who drops by, and there's going to be a lot of things to do. Chloe from DIYish by Chloe is doing a scrapwood build, and Thomas from Mellow Labs is also in this year, and he with Koos is going to make some electronics thing. I don't know.
Oh.
Another alums of this podcast, Malt Make, is there to do leatherworking, I think.
No, you wouldn't be trying to guilt us into turning up, would you?
I'm just saying there's a lot of podcast
just saying there's going to be a lot of people there. A lot of interesting
I think
people.
Stian is coming as well.
You don't know us at all.
I mean,
there's going to be a lot of people there. I'm out.
A lot of people, really.
But it's a lot of nice people.
Yeah, but it's still prefaced with lot of people. They could be the nicest people on the planet, nicest, friendliest, most giving, warmest, lovely. But there is a large quantity of them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I mean, I'm actually going to meet up with Stian before Maker Central. At least I hope, because I made him a tape dispenser, which I need to. I thought maybe not this weekend, but after that, when the wife is back and I don't have the sole responsibility of the kids, I thought I'd go and visit him if the car works, and all that.
That little thing.
Yeah.
You would have got your new phone and your new car by then, I'm sure.
I wish. And yes, it could have happened, but of course my end goal is that the car I have now, I bought that when we got our first kid, because we want a new car. You want all the safety standards and whatnot. So we bought that one and chipped in a bit of money and then took the rest on financing. And I'm not going to do financing on a car ever again. And then, of course, that means that I need a few months to start buffering off enough to not buy a total shitter that is worse than the one I have. So, I mean, if I get mine sold, then we might talk. But yeah, but yeah, I did get actually a bit of a FOMO here one night. I was probably tired and generally weak, both physically and at mind. So I felt a little bit of FOMO. And then could I go down but return on the latest flight on the Saturday? I don't know.
That is hard.
No. Yes. And then probably then it's going to be a good time on that Saturday. And then you have to get up and leave. And then,
sorry, just to clarify, fly from Norway to Birmingham for one day and then fly home again.
What I thought was I could fly and then I could spend a couple of days, then maybe see if the trains go in such a manner that I could land a bit outside and I could visit some people, and then just end up at Maker Central and then say hello everybody and greet all the nice people that I haven't seen in 2 years, and then fuck off with the last flight back home. But it is like, if that flight is delayed and then the train for that, and you have to arrange for people to be home while you're there, and then but I also plan to continue my journey. So if the first person you visit, it's really nice, and then you just have to break it up, because I'm also this is the allotted time I've set aside for you, because I've also have done the same for another one that I. So it's a bit like speed dating with. Well, if it's a happy ending or not, you can argue, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a flight I'm dreading the most because it's not fun. I'm flying there on the Friday and back again on a Sunday. We're flying through Germany because the only flights that go from Sweden to England go through London. And I was thinking, should I fly in through London and try to hitch a ride with someone or find a train or something like that? But I mean, it's not fun to fly via Germany, but that's what you have to do, apparently, to get there.
If they only from Oslo could make a ferry that goes to Newcastle or something, so you can just go there, get tipsy in the bar, and then go to sleep and wake up, and then I'm guessing it's relatively easy to go from Manchester to Birmingham by public transport.
You'd love to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I mean, it's easier to think that, since I'm not going to do it anyway. It's a purely theoretical exercise. So why not make it a nice one?
I mean, if you think what you should do is have a big thing for the. I mean, we could do it for all of Scandinavia, but I think the Norwegians, you charter a bus from the northern part, and then you drive down and pick up people all along, and then get on a ferry over on that same bus and do like an invasion.
I mean, it would be fun. And then if you had one of those coach buses where you could sleep comfortably on the bus, like
yes,
the tour
of course,
bus or something, then you come like 1 hour before they close on Sunday and like, hooray! And then, all right, going back.
I mean, that would be fun if we,
The Maker Bus.
The Maker Bus.
The Maker Bus.
Buzz, as in the bus you get from drinking, as well.
The Maker Buzz.
Buzz.
I mean, if you get the Maker Bus, but it doesn't need to end at Maker Central. But it could. But you could also just go to random makers and like crash their
forcefully.
Hello,
we're here now.
Like, going to Kjellski, and if he's home, it's like surprise, and then if not, all right, then we go to the next, and then
Phil, you get the WhatsApp message. Look outside. We're here now.
In the rear, we could have
turn all the lights off, lock all the doors, hide under the. Behind the sofa.
We know that you're home.
Oh no, I'm not at home. No, I'm actually somewhere else right now. I mean, you're talking about all of this. I mean, I've just looked. The NEC is an hour and a half drive. More or less just one road, actually, from where I live to there. Hour and a half straight up the M5, and I'm not doing that either.
It takes me longer to get to the airport, and then I spend 4 hours on planes to get there. You are so lazy.
That's your fault.
Yeah, that's. I was going to say that's on that's on us. Yeah,
it's entirely self-inflicted.
Yeah, but I wish I was you in that case. But yeah. If anyone listening who are going is a bit more or a bit more social and want to go, there are room if you want to help out with the maker stand. It's going to get to that. So there are rooms for more volunteers if you want to hang around with Chloe, for instance, or do anything.
If you want to go there, but also have to work and no time for actually meeting up with other people. And having
I mean, that's the antisocial way of doing it. You hide behind having something to do, so you don't have to talk to people.
Yeah,
but you can still say that you went.
I mean, then
I'm still not sold.
It's cheaper just to lie then. Yeah, I went. And
I
have the pictures from last time. I'm pretty sure that 90% of all the stands are the same. So I just
roughly.
Yeah.
They could do that as well.
Still not going.
No.
Is this the half fine now?
It feels like it's getting there. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in half point.
Barely.